What if much of the way we think, feel, and act today traces back to beliefs quietly imprinted on our minds in childhood? What if the generational hurts and stories we carry aren't our destinies, but keys we can unlock for deep healing and lasting change? Let's dive into the science and stories behind childhood programming and how to break free from generational trauma, one powerful step at a time. Childhood, the blueprint makers. Between birth and age 8, our brains soak up experiences without filters or judgment. Neurologists call this the theta state, where the boundaries between reality and imagination blur, and everything we see, hear, and feel goes straight into the subconscious mind. No critical thinking, no rational analysis. For example, imagine a young child being told, "If you don't get good grades, you'll never succeed." Those words, perhaps said in passing, get stored as truth, shaping how they see themselves for years to come. Why does this matter? The subconscious mind, which controls up to 95% of our daily actions and decisions, runs largely on these early scripts. Childhood programming forms the blueprint for how we handle relationships, self-worth, ambition, and even anxiety. Generational trauma, the invisible inheritance. Now let's zoom out. Generational trauma is the transmission of unresolved emotional pain, fears, or beliefs from one generation to another. This can happen through learned behaviors, unspoken rules, or even biology. Research shows that trauma can influence gene expression and stress regulation in children of traumatized parents. Real-life stories are powerful here. One survivor recalls how physical aggression and toy breaking were his way of expressing fear and anxiety he couldn't name as a child. Only when his mother listened and believed him did his healing truly begin. Early intervention, honest connection, and supportive networks became major pillars for his recovery. Importantly, generational trauma isn't just emotional. It creates biological changes. Scientists have found that trauma can alter gene function and brain responses across generations. But here's the hopeful news. These changes can be reversed through healing and growth, both individually and within families. Unlocking the subconscious, science meets self-help. To unlock and reprogram the subconscious, we must first become aware of the hidden beliefs driving our lives. Awareness is the first stage of healing, whether it's recognizing a negative self-image or the silent expectation to never show vulnerability. Let's look at some actionable neuroscience-backed steps. Acknowledge the pattern. Reflect on family beliefs, repeated behaviors, and childhood stories. Journaling about triggers and emotional responses can reveal patterns that need healing. Mindfulness and self-compassion. Engaging in mindfulness helps us observe our thoughts and feelings, break cycles of avoidance, and respond with kindness instead of criticism. Meditation, grounding exercises, and breathwork are powerful tools. Healthy coping skills. Build stress resilience through physical activities, like exercise, team sports, or cold and heat exposure, creative outlets, and deep breathing techniques. These support emotional stability and help us feel connected. Establish boundaries. Practice assertive communication and set healthy limits with people or situations that drain you. This is essential for protecting emotional well-being and ending cycles of pain. Reprogramming beliefs. Creating new blueprints. Scientific research shows we can recondition the mind. Like training mice to lose a fear of a scent after trauma, people can let go of old emotional scripts through therapy and support. Here are practical ways to reprogram your mind for growth. Affirmations and positive self-talk. Repeatedly speak empowering phrases. If you struggle with, "I'm not good enough," counter it daily with, "I am worthy of love and success." Consistency rewires neural pathways. Visualization. See yourself succeeding in areas that trigger self-doubt. Visualizing positive outcomes activates brain regions involved in motivation and planning. Challenge negative beliefs. When old thoughts arise, "I always fail," "love hurts," pause and question them. Replace with new evidence and alternative explanations. Therapeutic interventions. Modalities like EMDR, cognitive behavioral therapy, and family therapy have measurable effects on healing trauma and reprogramming limiting beliefs. Community and connection. Healing rarely happens alone. Sharing your story and seeking trustworthy support builds belonging and resilience. Inspiring stories. Breaking the cycle. Consider the story of someone who grew up surrounded by negativity and self-doubt, but decided to start journaling, meditating, and attending therapy. Over time, they grieved losses, processed anger, and learned to recognize triggers, and eventually began to reparent their inner child, embracing self-compassion and joy. Or the family that broke decades of silence by discussing past traumas. Through open communication, professional help, and boundary setting, they turned generational pain into collective healing and growth. The power to heal, a motivational call. Remember, breaking generational trauma is a process, not a destination. Healing starts with awareness of your story and its impact, courage to seek help, share vulnerability, and take intentional action. Commitment to rewriting the script, every day, with purpose and compassion. No matter your past, you are not just a product of your ancestors' wounds or childhood programming. You are free to choose, aware, connected, and resilient. Embrace this power. Shine light on what was hidden. Reprogram your mind for hope, healing, and transformation. The legacy you carry is yours to rewrite, and your breakthroughs may become the blessings your family receives for generations to come. Thank you for joining this journey of discovery and healing. If you found inspiration today, subscribe for more science-based, heart-driven content. Remember, your past is not your destiny. You have the power to heal and create a future grounded in love, wisdom, and possibility.